to another episode of the Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I'm going to take a look at the brand new Netflix reality TV show called Sneaky Links. Six sexy singles check into a motel in pursuit of true love, only to discover their longtime booty calls, aka their sneaky links, are there as well. Facing the desire of old and new, many hard truths, guests must decide whether to strengthen their sneaky link or explore new connections. Will they stay sneaky, or is love worth checking out? All right, I am going to share my thoughts on the season and then, of course, break down what unfolded in the finale as well. So, that being said, I was kind of underwhelmed by this show. I don't know what I was expecting, but it almost felt like a light version of like Temptation Island, but it didn't really fully capture my attention where I was just in awe of what was transpiring. There was many moments that I found myself very bored and even checked out at what was happening. It just didn't check the boxes of what I was looking for. Is it a little bit messy? Sure. But I think the big factor was none of the people on the show really made me like them, or maybe want to root for them or what their relationship, their future relationship. There is one couple in particular that doesn't make it towards the finale that I did end up liking. But in the early stages of the show, when you're kind of watching it, you're watching these characters or, cast members, whatever you want to call them, weave in and out of these quote unquote sneaky links, right? The goal is to maybe find someone you love and then get help by Chloe and what's the relationship lady? Spicy Mary. Yeah, it's Chloe who's the host of the show. Chloe, you know her from Too Hot to Handle, Perfect Match, and then of course Spicy Mary. She's our relationship expert. I think that Chloe did a good job of hosting the show, and Spicy Mary she added something to the table, but I just didn't feel like what she was wanting from the people we saw develop in the people on the show, right? A lot of these people almost felt like what we're starting to see in a lot of these reality TV shows is people trying to get to that next bar. Can I become an influencer? Can I make some money? Or the original, let's just go on this show to find some love, right? Now, let's talk about the finale. The final test was upon us. They must meet with their families, get to figure out that final step before they decide if they will give one another that final moment, right? The final night, they had to spend the entire night alone, so no sneaky linking or nothing. They will check out as a couple or alone. If they want to end their relationship, they will sneak out the side door of the hotel. If they want to leave, they will meet in the lobby. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break down what happened through this finale presented by each of the couples that were on our screen, right? So first we had Manny and Avery. Let me explain something. I never was a fan of Manny throughout this entirety of the show. I just felt like the entire time he gave us plenty of fuckboy vibes, right? He did nothing against the guy. I have no ill will or anything, but he just felt like a fuckboy the entirety of this show. And I'm pretty sure everybody that watches it is going to get that same vibe. But they're about to meet her family, and his goal is to meet with her outside of this, but his family might need to see the real him. Manny's mom knows that he's a fuckboy, which is kind of funny. Manny meets Avery's mom, followed by Avery meeting Manny and Manny's mom. Their moms like one another, and the idea of them together, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Honestly, between these two, I never saw it with Manny. I thought Avery was okay, and I didn't mind her. I just was kind of shocked that she went down the well with Manny, even after all of the things that this guy did on the show, right? I feel like he slept with half the show. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we got JC and Brandon as well. Brandon, I didn't like. Again, I don't know what it was about the guys in the show, but I think there was like one or two of them that I was like, yeah, all right, cool. You know what I mean? JC, I was kind of a fan of her. Her family knows about Brandon, so he's a little bit worried about the past knowledge of that hindering him. Brandon's pop said that he would need to cut out being a fuckboy and be a man. She's talking to her sister. This is what shocked me, and it kind of shocks me on the back end of this. JC's talking to her sister, and wants to be serious with Brandon, but wants her opinion of him, but doesn't allow her sister to meet with Brandon because she's unsure if he's serious and unsure if he wants to meet him yet. We get JC meeting Brandon's father. She said she isn't sure about him after meeting his father because she's unsure that he will change his ways, which is crazy. Like, guys, what are we doing here? If you have to fucking second guess what they're doing, then maybe, just maybe, you don't end up in the lobby together. Spoiler alert. Let's see here. Colt and Kelsey, another great little fuckboy on the show. Colt, I like Kelsey. I thought she was a pretty down-to-earth individual, and I felt like she was a good addition to the show, and I felt like she was actually probably genuinely there for all the right reasons. Let's see here. Kelsey is struggling because she isn't sure about whether or not he did something with other people. But he then admits to talk with Angelica, which I thought I like Angelique. And he said that they did go all the way with their physical attraction. They got to know each other and got comfortable. And she was hurt by him breaking it off. Angelica was. She brought her BFF and was breaking down everything that happened with her journey on the show. She said she's worried about him in the outside world. Well, that should have been your answer, Kelsey. That should have been your answer. Colt gives his mom the lowdown. She meets his mama. Said they connected on day one to be able to talk. His mom asked, "Are you in love with Colt?" And that was hilarious. She's like, "Are you in love with Colt?" And she was like, let's calm down with the L word here. Apparently, Mama didn't like the outfit that she was wearing. She wants more modesty. But apparently, he dives headfirst and loves hard and fast. That's what she said. Let's see here. And then, of course, last but not least, we had our final couple that we wanted to talk about here, and that is Zoe and Travis. These two are the only two that I really felt connected to throughout this entirety of the show. I really liked their journey together. I really liked them. Their friends and family are visiting, meeting Zoe. Obviously, one lives on the West Coast, one lives on the East Coast, so that's going to be a little bit of trouble. And they're talking about, can they make the long distance work? Travis and Zoe both bring them to meet their one significant family members. His sister, Danielle, Zoe's friend, Felicia. The long distance is brought up, but they said they're taking it step by step. And then, of course, like I said, this all came down to the final decision. The final decision was you had the opportunity to check out as a couple or alone. If they want to end the relationship, they will sneak out the side door of the hotel, or they want to leave together, they can meet in the lobby. And I'll talk about them first since they're on our screen. Zoe and Travis both show up at the lobby. No shocker here. Nice little warm moment. I'm hoping these two are trying to make it work out in the outside world, but the long distance stuff does suck pretty bad. But because of that, I am rooting for them, and I am hoping that maybe they made it to the other side because, again, like I said, those are the only two that I found myself consistently rooting for and was hoping to see make it in the long run. All right, Manny and Avery. Manny shows up to the lobby, which kind of surprised me, and then so does Avery, and these two leave the motel together. I want to say something. Why was he the only guy that made the other girl drive? Does he not know how to drive? I need to know the answers to this. 3 of them left. The other 2 men drove, but Manny did not drive. I need answers. Somebody give me answers. I don't think these two are still together. I don't believe it for one bit. There's no way in my mind that Manny is not ever going to stop being like a fuckboy. I'm sorry. I know that might be it, but that's just the vibes that he gets from my screen. JC and Brandon. Brandon showed up. I'm blown away by this guy showing up. JC, of course, went out the back door and left his ass there. Mic drop. Mic drop. Holy cow. That one was insane, right? I couldn't believe he showed up. She didn't. I thought it'd be the other way around. Not mad about it at all. Yeah. I can't wait. Some of the tea that's going to come out from this show is going to be interesting, for sure. Hopefully we'll get some of the people on the podcast here. And our final couple, Kelsey and Colt. Another one. She did not want him to meet the sister. No, this is the wrong one. Sorry. She brought her BFF. The mama was a little bit skeptical of the outfit here. And these two both showed up. They arrived in the lobby. He did show up. She showed up, and they're kumbaya. But I do think on another level that neither one of these two are still together. But I could be wrong. Sneaky Leaks. All 10 episodes on Netflix now. They're going to do Where Are They Now next week. Give some time give time for people to watch the show and break down their thoughts on the show before they release it out to the world of Where Are They Now. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of 11 Reality Podcast here on YouTube. If you can do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. What did you think of Sneaky Links? Let me know in the comments below.